Hi, this is Senator Daphne Jordan with a state budget update. In the early hours of Wednesday morning, the State Senate recently completed work on the 2021-22 state budget. In addition to being 6 days late and crafted in virtual secrecy, this year's state budget was one of missed opportunities and misplaced priorities. Instead of putting law-abiding, hard-working taxpayers and struggling small businesses first, the Senate Democratic majority passed a state budget that used $2.1 billion in taxpayer dollars to reward illegal immigrants who have worked and been paid under the table with thousands of dollars of unemployment payments that they should not be entitled to. The budget also included more than $3.1 billion in net new taxes and rejected $2.1 billion to achieve universal broadband. Instead of handing out money to illegal immigrants, our state could have eliminated the state income tax on New Yorkers earning less than $50,000 for 1 year. Or the funding could have been used to support veterans' health services. In fact, the majority's $2 billion gift to illegal immigrants is 420 times more in funding than our veterans are receiving. That's unconscionable. Their budget also failed to provide middle-class relief in tuition costs for SUNY and CUNY students, continued to ignore parity in upstate downstate transit with a disproportionate capital plan for the MTA versus Long Island and upstate, failed to provide structural reserve funds for future financial downturns or emergencies to ensure no future reductions in critical programs, failed to improve the state's position in terms of states' reliance on foreign countries for public safety supply chains for hospitals and frontline workers, and failed to provide adequate funding to train drug recognition officers as part of the legalization of cannabis. Let's be clear. The federal government just gifted New York $12.6 billion. That was more than enough to close the budget gap without resorting to any tax increases. But the Senate and Assembly majorities still couldn't resist raising billions of dollars in new taxes. Their tax hikes included higher taxes on telecommunications providers, which will increase costs for consumers while failing to provide infrastructure for broadband, also higher income, corporate, and business taxes. The majority budget's 10% spending increase vastly exceeded the 2% spending cap, with spending set to grow to a staggering total of $217.6 billion. That's more than the total state budgets of Texas and Florida combined. As your senator, I remain focused on true priorities, like protecting taxpayers, cutting wasteful spending, creating good-paying jobs, and helping struggling small businesses recover and reopen. Thank you.